Hello and welcome. Today we're going to dive into a really fascinating idea, a 100-day project that's all about profound personal and spiritual growth. It's a surprisingly simple plan that promises to tackle one of life's biggest challenges, and it all kicks off by asking a pretty fundamental question.
You ever feel this? I mean, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, right? You're learning, you're growing, but somehow life just seems to get more and more complicated, more overwhelming. Well, you are definitely not alone. It's that feeling that as we get older, things just get tangled up, and that simple joy we used to have is, well, it's just harder to find.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The whole idea here is that we shouldn't just accept this struggle. The source material for this explainer basically argues that if your life feels constantly hard and painful, that's not normal. It's actually a symptom, a big red flag that something's off, because life is meant to be joyful and happy.
Okay, so if struggle isn't our default setting, what's the real problem? Well, it all points to this one fundamental breakdown, something we all experience every single day, usually without even realizing how big of an impact it's having. It all comes down to miscommunication.
There's this amazing concept from Eastern medicine that just gets right to the heart of it. Bultung Jiktung. It literally means that when things don't flow, pain follows. And we're not just talking about, a clogged pipe. The argument here is that our emotional and spiritual pain, it comes from a lack of genuine flow, a breakdown in communication with other people, and yeah, even with ourselves.
Let's make this super concrete. Take a word like love. We all use it, but my idea of love, which has been shaped by all my unique experiences, is completely different from your idea of love, which has been shaped by yours. See? We're using the exact same word, but we're actually talking about two totally different things. And that gap, that's where all the misunderstandings, the conflict, and the pain are born. So the crucial point is that our biggest problems really do stem from this invisible disconnect. So if the problem is this massive communication breakdown, what's the fix? You'd probably expect something super complex, right? But the answer here is deceptively simple. It's not about learning to talk better, it's all about learning to truly listen.
And this is the core of the whole thing, a 100-day training program that is focused entirely on listening. The idea is that by systematically training ourselves to really hear what's being said, we can start to clear out those blocked channels, we can bridge those gaps in understanding, and we can resolve the root cause of so many of our struggles.
But why 100 days? Why that specific number? Well, it's not just some random number pulled out of a hat. The significance of this time frame is actually grounded in the fundamental laws of nature and our own biology, which is what makes this whole concept so powerful.
Just take a look at this number. 37 trillion. That's the approximate number of cells that are making up your body right now. It's an absolutely astronomical number, like a whole universe living inside each of us. And get this, every single day, your body replaces about 330 billion of them. And that brings us right back to 100. Because it takes roughly 100 days for pretty much all of those 37 trillion cells in your body to be replaced with new ones. Just think about that for a second. On a cellular level, you are quite literally a brand new person every 100 days. This period represents a full, complete cycle of physical renewal. And we see this powerful 100-day cycle everywhere in the natural world. It takes about 100 days for a fetus to develop its distinct human form. It takes roughly 100 days for rice to grow from a tiny seed into a harvestable plant. The source material even compares forming a new habit to carving a new waterway. It takes a lot of effort at first, but after about 100 days, that path is set, and the water just flows effortlessly. It's the time it takes to create real, deep, lasting change.
Okay, so let's shift from the why to the how, because this is where you'll see just how practical this plan really is. The power of this project isn't just in the philosophy, it's in its incredible simplicity. It doesn't ask for hours and hours of your time or for you to do these difficult, complicated tasks.
Here it is. This is the entire plan. That's it. Every morning, you just start your day by watching one short video. And every evening, before you go to sleep, you read a short piece of text that goes along with that day's lesson. It's so unbelievably simple, you might even be thinking, how can this possibly work?
But there's one crucial rule, one absolute. You cannot miss a single day. If you do, you have to go all the way back to day one and start the entire 100-day process over again. Now, this isn't meant to be a punishment. It's about the deep commitment that's required to carve that new waterway we talked about. Consistency is the absolute key that makes the whole transformation possible. So what happens if you actually do it? If you commit to this super simple practice with that unwavering consistency for 100 straight days? Well, the promise is nothing short of profound. It's about unlocking a completely new way of experiencing your life and the world around you.
And this is the bold claim, straight from the source material. By completing this training, you will experience what a miracle is. Not in some, supernatural, parting the seas kind of way, but in the truly miraculous change that happens when communication finally flows, when understanding replaces conflict, and when life shifts from being a constant struggle to being a real source of joy.
And that leaves us with one last pretty provocative thought. We've seen the biological reason why renewal is possible, and we've seen a simple actionable plan. The potential for a total transformation is right there, waiting. So the only question left is the one you got to ask yourself. What's stopping you?